anymore. They're like, just email us back and forth for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either way, I comb my hair.
What do I do with my hands?
No, I mean, well, I think it was something like that.
Okay. Chappy.
That's my nickname.
Uh-oh. Guys, please hold for a moment. We're going to switch over to the good old nets.
No.
I'll put
Yes.
right chrysanthemum, the both of them.
Copy.
All right.
It's a bestseller every year.
The Lord S. Stoketh. Is that old-fashioned enough the way I said that?
You know what? You're right. The lack of 9/11 in this room really is bringing things down.
What in the world? What in the world? What in the world's going on with your interwebs? But isn't it refreshing though, Rich? Like an old Pepsi commercial?
I could do without that lawnmower or whatever's happening outside.
That lawn work.
There isn't even any fucking grass out there.
Lawn work.
I didn't even notice that. That's very perceptive.
All right. Hopefully this straightens out. I got to fucking do this shit.
Yay, it's working again.
Yeah, it's working. All right.
That's all we needed to hear, baby.
That's all we needed. All right. Let's goddamn get started. Here we go. Why outside? Come on.
It makes the episode unique. It's novel. Hey, remember that What in the World where that lawnmower was in the background? Yeah, that was a good one. You know? Right, Rich?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What in the World? I'm Adam Todd Brown.
Quincy Johnson the second here.
Who are you?
Hey, Jon Shefsky here.
We had to introduce you right away because there's a camera in the room and people could see you.
Otherwise, we'd hold off for a little bit and then be like, oh, that guy.
Yeah,
you
we
heard?
would have.
That was
Me
Shefsky.
and Quincy usually do 15, 20 minutes of banter up top before we introduce
I would have
the
totally
guest.
ghosted him just right here in the podcast.
Yeah, there have been
Just-
times where we get so involved
just
in
turn
our
my back
interaction
slowly.
that it just turns
and just never
into
talk to Jon Shefsky.
the Adam and Quincy show.
That would be really fun for me to be the silent guest, seeing as how much I like to talk.
Did the Iron Giant just say something?
What? Oh, Giant? Check
Oh,
it out.
no, it's Jon Shefsky from the Crime Podcast.
I'm here.
And also the Fantasy House podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Tell people about that.
That's my new one. I'm so excited about that one. Okay, it's basically, well, I told you about it, Adam. It's basically, it's like MTV Cribs, but like imaginary in the Adventure Time Rick and Morty universe. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd watch
Okay.
that.
it's really fun every week. Like a guest.
Princess's Castle. I'd watch
Dude,
that.
you can have it any way you want. The most sci-fi, the most fantasy, the
Sonic's
weirdest.
Hole.
Dude, it just gets super weird, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just sit down and go like, all right, tell me about your fantasy house, and my guest just walks me through it, and
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like, whoa, and they just I always tell them like, blow my mind, please.
Hell yeah.
I was supposed to do an episode of it today, but I have 3 other podcasts to record after this.
Dude.
And this is the second one I've recorded today.
I don't want you to stress out. Fantasy house. Is
Oh,
for
I don't
you
want
like,
to either.
relax.
That's why I'm not
yeah,
doing
I want
it.
you to
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah, I'll do it next time. I'll be
Yeah,
more relaxed.
We'll figure it out for like next month. Or
Right.
something. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about Adam Todd Brown. Always
Hit it, Brett.
relaxed.
Oh, wrong podcast. So how's everyone doing?
That was hurtful.
Oh, yeah, I meant it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be hurtful.
These are brutal alpha
never,
males.
I'm never going to talk to you again after this. You know that, right?
Well, how have you been since we recorded last week?
Oh, my God. I haven't seen you in months, man.
Well, that's not true. I finally let people in on the secret that in between these recordings, we live together. I make
dude,
the guests.
why are you... Don't... No!
Because I'm going to start live streaming
Wizard
it.
of Oz rules at all time. Don't peek behind the curtain.
$50 Patreon level, you get to watch me and the various co-hosts live together for a week in between the podcasts.
True story.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that why you put the cameras in the bathroom?
Yeah, there's a camera. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there.
Oh, that's
Stick.
what
Can you
that
say
is.
it's sticking up from the desk on a stick?
That's
Is there one
what
in-
that is?
Is there one in the bathroom? Did you guys watch me Instagram for half an hour while you thought I was pooping?
We did, but on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
You watched me on Instagram. Was I live that whole
Yeah,
time?
you were on Instagram
Yeah.
TV.
There's so many ways to be live right now. Like you kind of forget. Like, wait, was something rolling that whole time? Did someone hear my thoughts?
Cameras are always rolling at
Yep.
this point, guys.
It's
Just
like
know that.
Great Britain.
Big Brother's always watching.
CCTV, brah.
At all times. Oh, am I recording audio? I guess I should double check
I thought
that.
I thought you did that before you ran down the first time. So we've been recording this whole time.
I'm so in awe what Adam does.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's able to like podcast, be in the moment, riff, and he's doing the hard technical stuff. I can't. Oh, I love it. And then he brushes it off like, hey, a monkey could do this.
It's my day job.
That's the best Russian accent you've done all day.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I've been trying to crank out the Russian accents.
It makes me
All
want
day.
spaghetti and pizza.
spaghetti and the pizza balls.
Very Russian.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the world, man.
We're talking about everything.
Talk about the world, man.
If you ever listen to Unpops Every Day, that's a show where we just go through various news stories happening and riff on them.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing today on this episode of What in the World.
Talk about news, bro.
It is a global news edition.
Another feel-good story.
There are some... Are there some feel-good stories
Some of
in
these
here?
make me feel so good. Maybe that's not the right. Feel-good story means like it's negative, but I take joy in other people's pain, right?
Yeah.
That's what
it's
a
Oh,
feel-good
sure.
story is?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Because
feel-
every one of these stories is pretty much a bummer.
Yeah. Feel
Well,
good.
I mean, some.
that one's pretty funny. That was hilarious. That's
That one's all right.
We all gotta die. Like, let it be something funny for the rest of us to riff on.
I have
right?
so many questions about that story,
Oh,
but
dude.
we'll get to it. So, should we get right into all the important news that people are missing by living in the United States?
Let's talk about it, baby.
Yeah,
the important news.
all the important stuff, like how an Australian man used his phone to shield himself from an arrow attack.
Spartans! That's what
What the fuck?
shit was like Captain America's shield, you know what I'm saying? That's how big the new iPhone is. The new iPhone,
Yeah.
the new iPhone cap for it's a tie-in with Infinity War. It's huge.
Oh, okay.
It's like a big iPhone screen, but it's shaped like a shield. That's what.
Mm.
It actually has an arm strap.
Yeah.
You keep it.
Oh,
on your-
right.
You keep it on your
And
arm.
it deflects bullets.
Well, I mean, you have to get the
It's
upgrade.
only available in Chicago and
you
Baltimore.
you gotta pay for the upgrade to get the bulletproof.
Oh.
Come on, man. We're not just gonna give it away. What are
That
you
makes
talking about?
sense.
Come on.
And you hear a headline like this and you think, oh, well, maybe he was walking around with an iPhone in his coat and got hit by an errant
By
arrow.
a stray arrow.
no, he
by
went
a
like
s-
this.
He did.
way.
He did.
Blocked.
What happened is he was coming home from work and he pulls into his driveway
Mhm.
and gets out of the car and just sees a man carrying a bow and arrow. And they say it's a man who is known to him. So these two probably have beef of
Yeah.
some sort.
Oh, they had an old school beef.
Yeah.
If I'm drawing down on you with bow and arrow, this is
Randall.
This is a family right. This is Hatfield and McCoy's type shit.
Has anyone ever seen the investigation Discovery show Fear Thy Neighbor?
No, that sounds like it would make me paranoid.
Well, it's my favorite true crime show about how everyone involved should die. Because it's just two
They're both
neighbors.
bad people.
It's just two neighbors being super duper dicks to each other, and one of them finally shoots the other, and you're like, all right, yeah, that's
Just the
fine.
first one to act on
Yeah,
it.
that took longer than I expected, but
And
okay.
This is why you don't talk to strangers, kids.
Especially in Australia.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
The place that this not a knife, this is a knife, right? Crocodile Dundee, Flight of the Conchords. Am I right?
But like
That's New Zealand.
They are the same. New Zealand and Australia are this. They are all Australia, just like
They are
Brazil.
the same.
Brazil is
You forgot-
Mexico.
you forgot-
Come on, this is America.
Don't forget South Africa. That's also Australia.
South Africa is also Australia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peru
sure,
is
yep.
Mexico. Canada is
Spain.
Northern California. Spain is. I don't even know what
If
Spain,
Spain,
is. Is that
and
part of Mexico?
if Spain and Mexico weren't the same, why do they speak the same language?
Time out. You tell me my salsa's not coming from Spain?
New York City.
New York City. Get an iPhone to block the arrow that's about to come out of my phone. I have an arrow phone.
You got the new arrow phone?
That's not an iPhone. And then
That's
you just.
arrow phone. No, you say this is an Australia story. It's not Australia enough. No kangaroos got punched.
Yeah, I mean, there's no spiders involved.
Where is the koala or the didgeridoo?
And there's no immigrants being jettisoned to an island 50 miles offshore.
Yeah, this
there's
is
none of
this
that.
is a
but
minor Australian story at best.
This
But
wasn't
this-
Australian enough for you?
No.
Quincy.
this guy gets out of his car, sees who I'm assuming is his neighbor holding a bow and arrow, and starts trying to film it. That's what makes me think it's like a neighbor dispute
He's
where
going
he's
live.
like,
Yeah.
all right, this guy's threatening me. I'm going to film it. And that guy was like, I'm not threatening you. I'm about to shoot you.
Mad Max.
Crikey, mate. You coming at me with a bow and arrow, and then I'll record you. Okay, you're going live now. You're live now, motherfucker, world star.
What if he threw it like a boomerang? He threw the phone. He's like,
That would have been
and
amazing.
it knocked the crossbow out of the other guy's hand. Ah, what the?
But instead of being alarmed that he was being filmed holding a bow and arrow in his neighbor's driveway, the guy just shot. Instead, hit the phone.
That's a good shot.
And if you look at the picture,
fucking Hawkeye, baby.
there's an article about this on, it's all over the place, but the one we're reading, is on Mashable. It's called Well-Positioned Phone Blocks Arrow from Hitting Man in Attack.
Whoa!
Look at
Time out.
that shit!
Hey,
The screen protector
I-
is like an inch off the phone, just dangling from the tip of the...
That's why you pay extra for the warranty.
I would like to say that whoever wrote this article is an asshole because you make it seem as if that dude wasn't a precision arrow shot. Okay? No one owns a bow and arrow, like owns one, unless they, in Australia, he uses that on a regular basis. He meant to hit that phone.
Oh, of course he did. He hit the fucking phone.
That is not a, hey, man, no, he didn't shoot the guy and the guy blocked with the phone. He was like, fuck your phone, and then shot the phone. That's a great fucking shot.
And this is a pretty great advertisement for the iPhone.
That's right.
Because
and AppleCare.
That was
They took care of that right away. Right away, sir. We'll have your new phone sent right out.
just carry it in, still impaled on the arrow to the
There's an
Apple
app that
store.
registers like
Nope.
arrows hitting it.
You know
too,
what?
so just like you automatically get a new phone.
Actually,
Yeah, we've been waiting for you, bro. We saw the arrow
It's got
thing.
the arrow app right there.
Actually,
Arrow
this is how big a dick the dude with the bow and arrow is. He put an aquatic tip on the arrow, so it had water damage.
Is that-
no Apple Care?
Is that what that is?
You can't even. So now your
That's
neighbor
smart.
can't even get Apple Care on the phone because it's got water damage.
After you waited 3 hours in line for a genius to tell you that? Motherfuckers.
And what's really crazy is the arrow still hit the guy in the chin. It's
Oh.
just that he happened to have his so if his phone hadn't been there, or if his instinct was to drop his arm,
Oh, that would have killed him.
he would have got hit in the face with that
would've-
arrow.
That would have ripped his chin off, his jaw.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It hit the phone hard enough to go through the phone and still hit him in the chin.
That's a good. Whoever this dude is, you better be on the Australian national team for the Olympics next year and represent your goddamn country,
Yeah.
sir.
If
If
he's
this
in
doesn't-
jail, mate.
If this doesn't get him on Australia's Got Talent, I don't know what the fuck will. Just shooting phones out of people's hands in the audience.
Do you think he was freaked out after?
Yeah,
like,
going to Sydney. I don't know where they go when
That's-
they win. I know
that's-
you go to Hollywood.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
am, I,
Crikey, you're going to Melbourne.
am I Paula Abdul in this one? Crikey, you're going to Melbourne
But
in a police squad car.
look at that phone.
Wow.
That's great, man.
Sheesh.
That's a hell of a shot, and I want to know this man's name and shake his hand.
I just realized since we're live streaming this, I can just like throw these links right in the comments for the people we're talking about.
Guys, you are now part of the action.
It's happening.
Look
Boom.
at that.
Boom.
Holy shit.
Welcome to the goddamn future.
Welcome to the fucking future.
Boom.
Cures for cancer? No. Can we text you right now while podcasting? Yes.
Yes, we can.
I'll have you know that I had a multi-screen setup on my flat screen the other day, watching pornography, Skyping a friend, and watching a basketball game all at the same time. The future is now.
Can I ask a detailed, specific question about that?
Go for it.
No.
You were next story, please.
Okay, what's your question?
Well, and I was just curious. So you were watching porn just for fun, just seeing what's up, or were you kind of appetizing yourself, getting ready for?
He sent me a
session?
link and said,
To
"Dude,
see what's up.
this is
I mean,
hilarious. This is he's like
Sex.
it wasn't like a,
What is it?
it wasn't like a you're watching pornography because it's erotic at the moment. It was like a dude, this scene is hilarious. Look at
Okay.
what happens, and then
That
Yeah.
answered my question.
But it was just the fact that I had it all on one screen and multiple windows, and I was like, that the future's great.
I feel like once you have like the VR goggle headset on and you're watching 3 things at once and you're like able to like reach out and be like, oh yeah, like that's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Like it'll be on all like because you had it just on your screen here, but like imagine it's like all around you and you're like, where's that porn video I was watching? You're like moving your hands around trying to like fish through like a virtual
Oh,
world.
people are gonna kill themselves when VR headsets get that in.
You think so?
I used to have one. It was fun. It was fun to watch movies with, but it was so heavy. Like you would watch one movie and it's like, well, that's
like
all I
neck
can
ache
do
or whatever
for the night.
Yeah,
You gotta lay down.
they're gonna lighten it up though.
And you also can't move. Like if you're sitting in a chair,
Yeah.
you want to be able to just get up and move around without turning the movie off. But
Yeah.
you get up wearing a VR headset,
You're
you're gonna
gonna
walk
slam
off
into
your
shit.
balcony. Yeah.
You have to like strap to like have a cable like to a harness where you're just like you can't
Yeah,
you can't hurt
a
yourself.
leash.
Yeah, you can't hurt yourself. I'll hook up to it. That sounds like fun.
Get leashed up.
It's orgy time.
So how about this next story? Facebook vows to not build data centers in countries that abuse human rights. How
Thank
great!
you.
I trust them. I really do.
I really think they're going to follow through on this.
I knew they had good
man.
intentions over there at the FB.
Yeah.
I knew it.
That is a weight lifted off my shoulders because I was really worried about this.
I was worried that they would. Mark Zuckerberg recently published a 3,000-word blog post.
Okay, stop. 3,000 words, bro?
I mean,
Stop.
most of my cracked
I
articles
thought he was
were
busy.
2,500, 3,000 words.
142 characters. If I can get out a well processed thought in a tweet, I don't need a 3,000 word blog from you, Zuck.
Well, he
All right?
dictated it to one of his slaves. He was like, "All right,
Yeah.
I will not allow Facebook." Yeah,
They chiseled it into stone.
This should have been like a well placed 3 or 4 tweet thread with @Kanye at the bottom. That's all he needed to do, and it would have gotten more press.
with a hashtag BTW, I don't actually give a fuck about anything.
Yeah. All of that would have been good.
They always bum me. Like Google being like, "We're gonna help China censor things," or like Tesla open up a factory over there. You're like,
Yeah.
aren't they like locking people up and like don't they have like Muslim prisons there and like they're like doing some nasty things?
No, it's voluntary vocational training.
Oh.
Is what they call it.
Never mind.
Jesus. Well, don't,
Yeah.
Wow, way to be disparaging,
Yeah,
Chesky. Wow.
I had no idea.
You throw 1 million Muslims in a camp, and all of a sudden, you're some sort of oppressive government.
Yeah, camps aren't always bad.
I got a dozen
says-
in a camp in the basement here.
It says camp in the title.
As long as they're not making you concentrate, it's good.
Exactly.
Right? That's how I look
Yeah.
at camps.
It's
Summer
a
camp?
relaxation camp.
Relaxation camps, summer camps.
Right.
Internment. Or internship camp. right?
Internship.
Yeah, everyone wants an
Internship
It's in this
camp,
economy. You want an internship. It's a
Yeah.
foot in the door.
This is a quote from the Zuck. As we build our infrastructure around the world, we've chosen not to build data centers in countries that have a track record of violating human rights, like privacy or freedom of expression. And that all sounds well and good, but
Yeah.
a few months ago, Mark Zuckerberg announced that the first data center in Asia would be built in Singapore,
Okay, I don't see anything wrong with this.
a place where privacy and freedom of expression are at a bare minimum.
Yeah.
The two things he said they would not stand for are the two things Singapore is most known for.
I've never heard a single bad thing about Singapore.
That's because they don't let the press tell you about
So
the bad things happening in
therefore,
Singapore.
It's the
It
opposite.
ain't what you know, it's what you can prove. What have you heard bad about Singapore? Nothing. Go for it, Mark.
Good point.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that- really? I heard it's like the Florida of Asia. So there's a lot of bad stuff going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
If it's the
Wait a minute,
Florida
whoa,
of
whoa,
anywhere.
What's wrong with Florida?
No, nothing wrong with Florida. I'm just saying Singapore is the Florida
Do you hate?
of Asia.
Do you hate this country, sir? Is that what you?
I
did
love Florida.
you- did
Waffle
you just-
House, Disney
Did you
World.
just get on What in the World and hate America? Because we don't allow that here.
I love this country.
Okay.
I'll show you the tattoo I have of the flag on my genitals after we stop videotaping.
I mean, we're videoing.
You got to show that on the videos. You can't tell the
Yeah,
people
you can't
watching at
tell
home and
people
then
and
not
then-
show them your American flag balls.
I like to keep them in suspense. That's part of my American style of keeping them guessing.
Nice.
Your American style of suspense.
That's right. I just came up with that right now. I don't know if that's a classic cliche for America, but we're into suspense, right?
Yeah, of course. That's why true crime podcasts are
always.
so huge.
That's there you
Always.
go.
right.
That's right.
So Singapore consistently ranks close to the bottom in worldwide rankings by rights groups for its oppressive laws against freedom of speech, expression, and assembly, and limited rights to privacy under its expanding surveillance system, also known for its horrendous treatment of LGBTQ people.
I think you just lost that in translation. Because if they are polling at the bottom for the LGBTQ community, that's a good thing.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Were you using sexual positions?
Yeah. Come on.
I left the soundboard way across the room.
It's air soundboard.
We got it.
We're trying. We're saving the environment by airing
It's
the
one
soundboard.
less thing to be plugged in. I
Yeah.
do the old-fashioned
Well,
car.
it emits a lot of methane when I hit those buttons. I'm just trying to
We're-
reduce my carbon
We're
footprint.
trying to protect the kids, man.
It was actually in the Green New Deal that I stopped using the soundboard.
Well, at least someone's
And
paying
I'm
attention to it.
Trying to be a supporter, so
Very cool.
sorry. TechCrunch, where this article, the article we're talking about right now, comes from. It's called "Facebook Won't Store Data in Countries with Human Rights Violations Except Singapore" by Zach Whitaker. He reached out to Facebook about this, and their actual response was to just refer him back to Mark Zuckerberg's blog post.
Oh,
So he was like,
Oh.
hey, you put up this blog post saying you won't put data centers in countries that abuse human rights, but you put one up in Singapore where they abuse human rights. And their answer was, no. But we just put up a blog post saying we don't put up data centers where there's human rights. So go read that.
And also, if you click this link, it doesn't cost you anything, but it throws me $1 because it goes through the Amazon page.
Through the portal.
Yeah.
It's
It's the
click
affiliate
here and come
program.
back.
Yeah.
That's the future of like all the corporate institutions, though, is that they have insulation between us and them. So you call with a complaint, and they're like, well, we have 50 million subscribers, so we can lose one here or there. It costs us less to lose a few by not giving them 5-star customer service and just referring them to like just chat,
Right.
just send us an email. Like you're like, no, I need to call and talk to you right now to fix this. You're a giant company
Yeah.
with billions and billions of dollars. You're like, fix this right now. They're like, just send us an email, and then they can just blow you off, basically.
Billions
Yeah.
and billions of dollars, but I don't want to pay for your health insurance.
That's
so
right.
I
Oh, they
can't give
don't.
people a 40-hour week to deal with the massive amount of complaints we
Just
get.
eat more apples like the Kaiser
Read
ads.
this thing.
Go for a walk by the park, and you'll be fine, you loser.
Yeah. What a bunch of fucking losers. I do like that was Facebook's response, though, to just be like, no, we don't do that. We put a blog post
Did
up
you
saying
read?
that. Can't you read? Singapore's fine. We said right in the thing.
They just try to distract
Doy,
you.
You know?
But Singapore isn't free. Singapore? Explain that to me. What are you saying, customer?
So let's talk about this next story, which comes from
Oh, yeah.
the always reliable Huffington Post. They're actually fine. I don't know why I said that.
Prepare the boners.
Headline, and talk about PC culture
Okay.
out of control.
Okay.
Woman almost dies from stroke triggered by oral sex.
Give it up to that dude. You know what I mean?
Is there nothing that doesn't trigger people these days?
Woman offended by orgasm.
I mean, come on.
Why'd you even give me that orgasm? Was it even about me? I don't even know what to do.
Oh, no. See,
And this was a British woman, so story fits on this podcast.
That was some young man going down, giving his all. And he was so good, he killed her.
I honestly wonder from the
for him.
description if it wasn't more of a woman suffers stroke triggered by oral sex and choking, because she does pass out right before she's about to come.
Well, have you ever had that happen? I've had like a migraine before, like when about to come, and
No,
a
I
migraine
haven't.
It happened to me. It happened over a
You just
span.
come a bunch of blood, relieves the buildup in your head.
Wow, this got graphic. No, you
Oh,
don't
okay,
even-
go on.
You
Cut
don't,
me.
You don't come. Yeah, it just turns out you're like John's goth. Turns out he's just goth. No, it happened when I was about 23, 22. No, I think I was actually like 20. And I read about it after it happened because I was like freaking out because it happened for like a couple month period where I would just like regularly like be in the middle of sex and be like, like crazy headache.
Couple month period. That's a lot of bleeding.
Hey, come on.
Oh,
Oh, hashtag
Airborne.
outskirts of the tribe, huh? On that. She's on
okay, what were you saying?
that cycle, and we're not talking about it by. Oh yeah, that's happened. So I think that might be what they're talking about. Where like you're just all of a sudden you get a crazy because like the blood's flowing through your body and something's happened in your brain with like magic's dust inside there of like
Yeah.
oh this feels so good, I'm so happy, I'm in this place, and then your brain's like we can't handle this,
Right.
And you're like yeah, and then white out.
Yeah, apparently any activity that raises your blood pressure could give you a stroke in
So
theory.
racquetball, arguing on the internet.
Right.
Wait. Are
Blowjobs.
you telling me I shouldn't be having sex anymore because I could die?
Yeah.
Might have to close one of those windows on your computer.
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, you got to stop.
This is traumatic.
I think that's the point of the story is people should stop having sex or
Oh,
else
wow.
we're all going to die.
We're killing ourselves.
We got enough of a population now. We'll carry on for decades.
From this point forward, every orgasm is a risk of death.
You will forget about this story the next time you're getting head. Don't worry.
Your
It'll be fine.
your dick is a ticking time bomb. A dicking time bomb.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
dicking time dong. Oh, a dicking time dong. Freudian slips.
This changes the sex talk you have to give kids now. It's
That's-
like, nah, bruh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's just like the cocaine talk.
It's
One time
war.
could kill you.
Little Timmy,
war,
when you
bro.
feel like you're gonna come, just come fast and get it over with. If you try to hold off too much, you could die.
Ask her to hold your eyelids open.
The longer you hold back trying to please her, the closer you are to death.
That's right. You want to be a
Get it
murderer,
over
young
with.
man? Then
Right.
Get
just-
over with.
And if you don't make her come, ask her to thank you.
I would-
No,
I-
you saved
for
a life.
saving her life.
I
yeah.
would say
This
like,
whole time we've been saving women's lives.
Right?
ladies, look out for men that can't please you. They just might save your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Wow.
We just solved a lot.
High
of problems.
fives all around.
Right?
Come on.
Next
Come
time,
on.
next time your dude's going down on you for an hour and you both just give up and then move on to something else. Be like, you know what? That actually gave
Yeah.
me. I might.
That saved
Yeah, that
my
might have
life.
killed
that might
you.
have saved my life.
That
Yeah.
saved your life.
Thank God he doesn't know how to eat pussy because
Exactly.
I could be dead right now
Wow.
after coming really hard, but I could be dead.
This episode turned really poignant.
I mean,
Just
we're,
thinking about all the good we're doing.
we're
right
saving
now.
lives by being terrible in bed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You're welcome, ladies.
Quote unquote, we're doing the Lord's work. You're welcome.
I don't know if my wife will listen to this episode. She's having time alone with her vibrator right now. But honey, I promise you, this is why I don't do what I do.
Oh, are you saying your wife's suicidal?
That's the suicidal time. I'm gonna go jack off right now because I don't want to be alive.
So, according to a new report from the British Medical Journal, that's the name. How fucking
BMJ.
clever. Yeah, the BMJ.
Mm.
Always
it
listening.
is.
You talking? I'm listening.
Flip to this story in your issue this month if you've already received it in the mail and follow along. Unidentified 44-year-old woman suffered a transient loss of consciousness while receiving oral sex from her partner. After she was unconscious for 2 to 3 minutes, her partner got nervous and took her to the ER.
2 to 3
What do you
minutes?
think he was doing for those 2 to 3 minutes? Like, I fucking knocked you out.
He's either on the phone with his friends or 911.
Probably putting her picture on Instagram.
Oh God.
Just her face, just her sweet sleeping face. He's not a criminal. He's just ate out my wife. She's passed
ate
out
my
now.
wife. That's the best hashtag I
This-
think I've heard of all week.
This whole
Hashtag
time,
oral sex of Instagram.
Hashtag just ate out my wife.
This whole time, dudes have been killing their wives, and all you had to do was go down on them.
Exactly.
That's right, Scott Peterson. Why'd you have to go buy that boat? You could have just done a little cunnilingus.
Yeah, man, just
Exactly.
give a little more next time, and maybe she'll stroke out.
First you give it, then
That's
the
if
Lord
Scott
taketh
Peterson
away.
actually did it, but that's another.
Oh wow, that's a whole other conspiracy theory.
Whole other talk.
That Modesto conspiracy.
So this isn't completely unheard of. Like I said, any activity that involves a sudden increase in blood pressure can cause an aneurysm or stroke. And I said that like I said, no, that's also from the article in the British Medical Journal. The woman spent 15 days in the hospital before being released.
And
She's
immediately
fine
went
now.
back to getting her pussy eaten. Was like, finish what you started, Chuck.
I wonder about that.
Right?
Like, does she, or is she like forever now? If someone tries it, she's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Get from down there.
Dr. Phil, my wife won't let me have sex with her anymore. It's gotten pretty bad. What did you do? I satisfied her to the point she almost died.
High fives all around.
High
I mean,
fives
that
all
dude, that
around.
dude forever gets high fives.
Yeah.
Man,
And I'm not gonna lie, 15 days in the hospital sounds relaxing.
You, sir, are a Los Angeles workaholic.
I still maintain I wish I could just, like, for 3 or 4 days, just show up at Cedar Sinai and be like, "Can I stay?"
the only thing is that
let me
people,
hang out, get a cup of Jello.
Yeah.
the hospital doesn't take a break at night, though. That's the only thing. It's like stuff's going on all night. So you're hearing
Oh,
like
I
beeps.
want a private room.
You're hearing beeps and people are
Oh,
like,
I would
checking-
just shut the door.
You can't. It's the hospital.
I'm gonna close my.
But I'm
curtains.
It's like
fine.
Singapore. They don't let you
I'm
make any decisions on your own.
I'm fine. I'm just there for some R&R.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna crank the sounds. I'll bring my Bluetooth speaker with me.
Boom.
Oh, dude.
Turn up a little bit. Might invite Quincy.
You know,
We'll hang out.
Whoa, you can record there.
We could record that, but I'm trying to relax. Can you please? I'm trying to relax.
They got room service.
They do.
Yep.
You don't even have to order it. It
Yep.
just shows up.
Oh,
You
that
fill
sounds
out a little form.
That sounds like heaven
What kind of pudding? Vanilla, chocolate? Vanilla for me.
all day.
I was lying.
That sounds great. Vanilla pudding actually sounds delicious right now.
I'm a pudding fan.
Of course.
I'm not gonna lie. I
mean,
don't.
who doesn't?
who
like
I don't
doesn't
care
like
if it.
pudding?
I don't care if it costs me subscribers. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I like some pudding.
I mean, but when you say pudding, are you doing like all puddings, or are you just talking about Jello pudding? Because like figgy pudding isn't pudding, but it's also a pudding.
Well, sticky. Have you had
Sticky pudding, yeah.
Sticky toffee pudding?
Yeah.
That is one of the finest treats known to man.
I don't know if I've had sticky toffee pudding. What's
It's
going
more
on?
like a cake.
Oh.
It's
It's
made
it's
with
a-
dates, which
Oh, I
doesn't
love dates.
sound great, but
love
it's
going on them, love eating them. I love dates.
there's a place in Burbank. Now I can't remember the name of it, but they have sticky toffee. They had it at Trader Joe's for one sweet Christmas, and then they didn't bring it back.
One sweet Christmas.
But if you live near a Ralph's,
Yeah.
they have these sea salt caramel cakes that sort of taste like sticky toffee pudding, and you just microwave them for 60 seconds, then dump some ice cream on them, and wow!
Oh, I love the combo of hot doughy stuff
You know,
that's
it's-
sweet and buttery, and then ice cream on it.
Hell yeah!
Oh, it's
You know
the
what's
best.
sad?
What?
The excitement you get from eating delicious food could possibly cause a stroke.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. If
Those
if-
cakes
is it
could kill me.
orgasmic, then maybe back off a little bit.
Oh boy.
Good
This
point.
This is oof.
If cakes could kill.
The more you
Hashtag.
know, kids, the more you know.
So, should we talk about this next completely inflammatory story, if I'm being completely honest.
Uh-oh.
No U.S. city cracks the top 30 on this year's list of the best places to live.
Who wrote this article? What's the name of the person? Who wrote this?
Well, it's from a well-regarded survey from the global consulting firm Mercer. They
That
released
sounds British or some shit.
Shut
I don't
up.
listen to their fake news.
this article is by Katie Hill, but poor Katie didn't write this article.
Look at
or
Katie's
didn't write
picture.
this.
Look at Katie's picture.
Katie is
Okay.
completely blameless in this.
Look at her picture though.
I'll do a headshot.
You leave Katie out of this, you monsters. Writing for MarketWatch.com.
We're gonna lose every time because there's more people in those other countries. You know they're weird there.
More people
There's a
than
billion.
in the United States.
There's a billion people over in China. They got votes.
China didn't get any votes. You'll be shocked to know the countries that made the top 10 all very strongly predominantly white countries or cities. These are all
Switzerland.
Well, the whites are making a comeback, bro.
Hey, look, there's one in Australia. It's Auckland, New Zealand.
This is the list. Vienna, Austria.
Gross.
Of course, Austria, birthplace of Hitler. Zurich, Switzerland.
Gross.
Munich, Germany.
Gross.
Vancouver,
I
Canada.
will not.
Auckland, New Zealand.
Ugh.
Dusseldorf, Germany.
That's
Yeah.
not even a real place.
Frankfurt, Germany.
They just thought it was a funny name.
Copenhagen, Denmark.
They just chew
Ooh.
tobacco there.
Chew, yeah.
Geneva, Switzerland.
Watches.
Basel, Switzerland.
I never even heard of Basel. I am not a
Of course you
cultured
haven't.
American.
That's where the rich people go. There are countries we've never heard of that they just.
They just hang out.
They
in
hang
Basel.
I don't know that I want to live in any of those countries. Well, Geneva would be cool because there's so much like where's the Hague?
Isn't that in Geneva?
Haagen-Dazs, the ice cream factory place. That's
The Hague
Germany.
is in Geneva, right?
That's Germany.
I believe
and possibly
so.
Switzerland.
Because I would fucking live in.
Oh, it's in
No,
the
that's in the
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yeah,
Never mind.
the Hague didn't make the list, but the Hague would be a fun place to. It's like Disneyland for political intrigue. Like all these different countries have headquarters set up there. All kinds of shit happens.
Is the food good? That's my most important question.
Oh, probably not. It's
French
in the
fries?
Netherlands.
Is it? You don't think the Netherlands has good food? Don't they have like French fries and mayonnaise?
Oh yeah, aren't they like hot dogs and French fries? I know Norway, it's like hot dogs and shit.
Like a good hot dog though, like a gourmet hot dog. I'll take one.
I don't.
And some French fries with mayonnaise. I'll
Depending
take
on how gourmet you get, like you can overdo it with a hot dog.
it. Like a bratwurst, that some people would call that a hot dog, and a good bratwurst, like a white sausage.
Mm.
And
Just
you know
hearing
they're gonna
you-
be white sausages there.
Just hearing you both.
all white
talk about
sausages
this,
there.
All white sausage.
I know this list isn't real because no one has good food in any of these cities.
Dusseldorf has good food. I haven't been there or read that, but I'm just saying.
Like
to
you've
the
never
contrary.
heard of any
Just
of
to be
these
contrary.
places as like a food destination. Munich, Germany.
Yeah,
Uh,
German food's horrifying.
food
You don't like
destination.
sausages and like- and like-
Auckland,
I
New
like
Zealand.
sausages. I don't
Gross.
like sauerkraut.
Schnitzel. You don't like sauerkraut. They
I don't like
They do really
sauerkraut.
good French fries. Germans do really good French fries, like with
Okay,
onions
you
and
can't.
cheeses and mayonnaise and garlic.
everything. It's just because you put everything in either mayonnaise or onions doesn't make it good. It
Oh,
just,
it does.
A French
You-
fry is
you
a
take
French
a log
fry,
of human
you know what I
shit
mean?
and dip it in mayonnaise. It'll be good. Oh, ranch too.
Dip it in mayonnaise?
Dude, you ever had French fries and mayonnaise?
No.
It's so good.
Who are you?
I'm
Yeah.
a guy who likes French fries and mayonnaise. Trust me. Go to Burger King.
Guys,
or
we
any-
apologize for the views of
Yeah,
Jon
the views of
Shefsky.
Jon
They
Shefsky
do not reflect the
Listeners,
unpops views.
absolutely do
Thousand
not
I-
reflect.
Thousand-
Thousand Island.
Thousand Island or ranch is got tons of mayonnaise in it. That's why it's so good. If you had it without the mayonnaise, you'd be like, this is not that great.
I don't like Thousand Island.
Well, then you wouldn't like the mayonnaise on the French fries. Do you like ranch?
It's fine, but it has to be like a homemade ranch.
It has
Like
to be ranch.
yeah, oh
for,
yeah.
It has to be
I'll tell you-
ranch for a reason. Like it has to
Ranch
be
for
for the
a reason.
wings.
Oh,
You can't
I'll
just
tell
be
you
who's
ranch
got-
on stuff.
I'll tell you who's got the good ranch. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep.
Outback Steakhouse.
I haven't had it at Outback. Buffalo Wild Wings, yes. definitely.
Outback Steakhouse makes their own
Because they
ranch.
make it, they probably put cream in it.
and
not
it's a
just,
buttermilk.
Yep.
It's so fucking
if you
good.
do buttermilk or you do cream as opposed to just doing milk and mayonnaise or whatever, if you do that cream, it's
Milk and mayonnaise.
Oh, dude, that's what's in ranch.
Can I-
I
can
buy
I-
the powder and I make it at home, and you gotta put.
I
mayonnaise
just
in it.
want to mark on the official audio record that
Sure.
this is the whitest conversation
Oh,
I've
it
ever
is.
been witness to, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I have absolutely no idea what
Any
happening.
conversation that starts with dipping fries in mayonnaise is the whitest
Two, men,
Dude, I'll
conversation.
dip pizza and
two
ranch.
white guys talking about homemade ranch. It's just
Pizza
wow.
and what?
I'll dip pizza and ranch. I don't
Oh,
care.
I thought you were I thought you meant pizza and mayonnaise.
I've never done that.
Don't!
I've been wanting to try on like a
Okay.
challenging, like if there's an Adam, if
Okay.
there's an Adam Todd Brown like Unpops Network show about just challenging me to eat ridiculous foods, I would do it.
I did have access to a century egg
He made
the
me
other
eat a
day, but I
McRib
never
once.
ate
was
it.
What's a
awful.
century egg? Tell me it's been around for a century.
Uh,
Slowly?
It's a Super Bowl egg.
in some cases it is, but it's an
What?
egg that's fermented for weeks, months, sometimes years, and the white part turns into like a brown jelly, and it tastes like ammonia, and it's like a delicacy. And I almost had one last week, but
I'll
then I
eat it.
looked at it and was like, oh no.
I'll eat it on your podcast where you make me eat weird shit. But
He made me eat a McRib once. It was awful.
McRib's just like a school lunch food. Like they just
No,
put a bunch of stuff in a
they
blender.
Don't put the
It
word-
is a
It's not a
it is
food.
an Ivy
It's
League
not a
school
food.
lunch
It is
food.
not a food.
I'll eat it if you have a bag of them here, but other than that, I'm not going to buy one.
Well, you're wrong. You are
I will eat anything.
incorrect.
Chocolate dip scorpions?
I'm
And-
so glad John's here to tell the truth.
I do not like the direction this conversation is
Thank you,
going.
Jennifer. Jennifer says she doesn't like mayo enough to destroy French fries with it. Exactly.
Oh, Judah Friedlander. I mean, Jennifer Friedlander, which is a very German name there. Fendelander. Yeah?
So let's talk about this next story. This is pretty heavy. Press Freedom Group publishes book of last stories written by murdered journalists
Ooh, this is fun.
on thehill.com by the big homie Morgan Gestalter. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that name, but I talk about
it is now.
his or her articles all the time, and that
The
last
Rock of
name
Gibraltar.
that last
Gestalter.
name blows my mind.
Jabroni.
I assumed it was a typo the first time I saw it.
Can you smell what I'm cooking, Gestalters?
But this group is putting out. The group is called Committee to Protect Journalists, and they're putting out this book called The Last Column.
That's cool.
And it's a book of journalists who have been murdered. It's their whatever their last column was is what's in this book.
That's a cool idea.
It is, and it includes like Daniel Pearl, who was beheaded in the Middle East.
So bummer. Oh, so sad.
Jamal Khashoggi, who was be everything
Yeah, it was
in-
disgusting what they did to that guy.
in the consulate in Turkey.
Allegedly, I still go with he walked out and they don't know what happened to him.
Our Fuhrer said
Aliens.
Our Fuhrer said that he checked in with the Trump was like he checked in with them and was like they said they didn't do anything, so you know I
Hey.
fucking believe them, eh? Up there.
Yeah, if they did it, they'd tell us.
Yeah, right. And what do we care, right? Journalists get murdered all the time. Ah, America, fuck yeah.
They do get murdered all the time, though. An estimated 1,337 journalists have been killed on the job since 1992.
Which means jobs are being created. Kids, get your journalism
That is a
degrees.
positive way to
Come
look at
on.
it. That is a positive
That's
way.
creative.
Creating
That's a good point.
gerbs.
It's stimulating the economy. You just have to throw a couple journalists in the meat blender every now and then and get a new one.
I thought this was interesting. Research by the organization has found that 9 out of 10 journalist murders go unpunished, which my first thought is, are all journalists rappers also? Because
They're all Suge Knight.
because
Biggie was a journalist.
there's
in a way.
been one solved rap murder, and it was that ex-Tentacion guy, and we were all like, fuck him. Who cares? The police solved that murder. But
We got one though.
so it kind of leads me to feel like, oh, well, maybe it's because the government kills journalists and rappers both, which
Yeah,
It makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
or they don't care when someone else does. Oh, you're gonna hit that guy? Cool.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
I got bigger things to do. Or
Right.
go ahead and take him out. Right? I don't like his rap lyrics. Fuck the police. I'm a police officer. Kill him. Go for it.
But this book,
I'm assuming that's how they react.
where is this book available? I know it's available on their website.
Everywhere fine books are sold. Amazon, Audible.
I mean, I'm sure it is on Amazon and Audible, and on the website cpj.org, which is the Committee to Protect Journalists. Go to their website, buy a copy of the book.
It's crazy. Those people they put their lives on the line to like tell stories, whether you like them or not. You know, like whether you agree with them or not or whatnot. The people put their lives on the line and they get murdered just for like talking. Happens in Latin America all the time.
Yeah.
They're just telling you like how people.
What do you mean journalists put their lives on the line? All the journalists I know go to chili cookouts
Yeah, I
and
mean,
check in from the local parades.
there's a bunch of like Twitter journalists and like people that contribute to like hilarious stuff. But then there's people that are risking their life. There's also people that do both.
They got,
That do the chili cook-off.
they
and
got drones for that, bro.
There's the Gonzo journalist that's
They got drones for that now. You don't have to worry about.
hanging out in Hezbollah one week. The next week, you're like, I'm going to do a 5-day study to see if fleshlights are worth the price. And then you just kind of go in between, the human experience. It's
I hate that gonzo journalist idea. There's that Matthew McConaughey movie coming out
I don't know about it.
where he plays like a gonzo journalist type who like is fucking doing drugs and drinking all the time.
To
and
write
just
an article about doing drugs.
completely out of control, and then he'll be like by the beach with a red typewriter, and everyone's like, "Yeah."
He's like the new Hunter Thompson movie kind of thing. Is he? Like,
Yeah.
He's like another Hunter
I
Thompson.
fucking hate that
was
because
the-
then you always get this group of people who are like, if you've never done opium in Afghanistan, can you even be a real writer? It's like, yeah,
Yeah, you
can.
just write for Vice, okay?
Yeah, you
okay.
can. You can be a writer and literally never have left your fucking house.
That's true.
Meet Stephen King.
Stephen King leaves his house. That's how he got hit by a van once.
That's why he doesn't leave his house
That's
anymore.
why you don't leave the house,
That's right.
guys.
That's the real horror story, right, Stephen K?
Who was the news? There was a newscaster that was caught. Like they found his body dead with meth
Oh.
in his butt.
That was so sad. He was just
Great.
trying to have
From, like,
a fun
Sacramento or
time
some
in
shit.
a motel.
Oh yeah, he was on the road trying to have a fun
Ugh,
meth fueled
the real Ron
fuck
Burgundy.
party.
Having
Yeah.
a good old time.
The
And
real Ron.
Marv Albert style. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. Sorry.
It was.
That was a deep
So
cut.
was
Sorry
what
for the kids.
Marv Albert did was also a deep cut with his teeth.
Oh Lord,
He did that woman.
this
and
is
he's still on TV. Good for him. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Mm-mm.
this is a real podcast, folks. We are not going to hold back.
How about this next story? It comes from BBC News, BBC.com. Japan Sega game sales halted after cocaine arrest.
Wait. There
And-
was cocaine in the Sega this whole time? Is that
Well,
why Sonic was so
You put it
fast?
in the
What's
bathtub
happening?
with
Wait a
vinegar.
second.
It dissolves into the cocaine.
Well, here's the thing. You see that headline and you assume like, wow, was this game like funding cocaine sales somehow?
Yeah,
Or like
One can only hope.
were the makers doing this as a front for
Exactly.
some big smuggling ring?
Yep.
No, one of the actors used cocaine once.
That's it.
Wait.
That's it.
Wait. So an actor in a video game used cocaine, and Japan said we can't sell this game anymore.
And he
Correct.
His character in the game didn't use cocaine and it, like violated like rules of decency. Like the actor
He
himself.
played a Japanese gangster in the game. So,
Yeah, he's just researching the role, right?
right.
Do the Japanese realize if this becomes precedent, they are going to ruin Hollywood? If
Well,
every
that's
actor
the-
who's ever used cocaine can no longer get on we can't even watch Avengers.
Well, this is
half the
just
cast.
another example to me of how other countries, like, they mean the things they say.
Yeah.
Like, we make fun of ISIS for being so fucking fundamentalist about their religion. It's like, at least they believe their religion,
Yeah.
though. Like, most people here don't. They
Yeah.
just, like, go to church
What are
for
you-
show.
What are you talking about?
And we might talk about being tough on things here, but imagine if an American company was in this situation, no matter the scandal,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be like, well, we're going to pull that game and you can't buy it anymore.
It punishes
Here-
so many
here-
people besides the one
actually-
coke dude, and all he did was do cocaine.
Right.
Like-
and we would be like, well, the company's not going to lose out on all that money over this scandal. That's not how American businesses work.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Japan,
they
they're
do
like,
it now though.
fuck your money. We will.
It just depends on the severity of the crime, because we'll cancel someone for like sexual harassment claims, or if they have that guy, he killed the guy with his car, we'll go after you for that.
You talking about Ferris
But-
Bueller's Day Off again?
Is that what happened? I thought that was Weekend at Bernie's where they hit that guy with the car and then hid the body.
I thought it was Matthew Broderick that hit a guy with his car, and Caitlyn Jenner. How many people are killing people with cars in this town?
A lot.
We got to take
Brandy.
we got to take
Jenner,
cars away from entertainers.
Brandy, Halle Berry, I
Yeah,
think.
we got to take cars away from entertainers.
Vince
that should be
Neil.
on the DMV.
Well,
test,
here's the thing.
written
Yeah.
When
test.
you're a celebrity, you're not supposed to drive yourself. You're always supposed to have a driver.
I never get that. I'm like, how much money do you make? Pay someone to cook, pay someone to drive. Okay, then you
Yeah.
can text.
Yeah.
and the cyclists don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah, I don't like. I wouldn't even need to be like rich.
Yeah.
Like, if I was making a few $100,000 a year, I wouldn't drive anywhere if I was drinking.
I'm about to put in an application
Ever.
as your driver. Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Never. Well,
some
you would.
cash.
You're at least making enough money that you can Uber
You
at that
can-
point.
You can Uber, yeah.
And
Like
it's
you
fun.
don't. You don't even need a driver, and you're rich. So
It's fun to
leave your car and just send someone to go get it.
It
Give them
is
$20.
to be like, it's 30 minutes time there. I can return a phone call. I can do something on my phone. Like
Yeah.
I can check my Instagram. Finally, I can check my emails. Why do you
Right.
even want to drive?
Or I can get in a drunk